All right, today I want to talk about the art of saying no. It's weird, right? Let me start off by saying this is a little bit more for once you've, I don't know, with break in or maybe more established yourself in any of your creative careers or independent freelance careers. So this isn't necessarily pointed at the people out there trying to start the whole journey. Obviously, we've all been there where there's no, we have to say yes to everything because the rent demands it. So yeah, this is definitely much more me talking about from that place in my career and where I know some of my other friends are, which is giving yourself the power to say no when you need to. I know it sounds counterintuitive when you want an art career, you're finally getting these job offers and they're coming along and you get excited and they all sound fun. They all are fun, but they can also, as much as they can build a career, they can also stall a career to a degree. And that sounds weird. I get it. But I found myself in a place over the years where everything is so exciting. This cover gig comes along, this comic comes along, and you're like, well, of course, yes. And then you another one comes along, and you're like, you want to do this Spider-Man? Yes. You want to do Spider-Man as Goofy? Yes. You want to do this this book? And everything sounds great, and you're going to have fun. When you feel that confidence that you could do something good with it. And at that moment, you're like, of course I have the time. I'll just slot this in here and I'll slot this in there. But eventually you start to look at your calendar and a lot of the goals that you've set for yourself are getting further and further away because, I guess for lack of a better term, like the new shiny toys come along and kind of keep pushing it back. I guess I'll be more specific to me. You guys know when I talk about these videos, usually I'm talking very specifically and anecdotally of my career and my life and how I think. I'm not setting rules. Take this stuff with a grain of salt, follow it, don't follow it, think I'm crazy. It's all good. This is me just kind of giving you my experience. But from my point of view, there's been a few projects that I've had in a folder or on my table or hanging pinned up to my bulletin board. Some of these have been 12 years, I've literally had a few drawings pinned to one bulletin board or another in the various studios I've had for 12 years, just staring at me, waiting for me to write it, waiting for me to draw it, waiting for me to create it and bring it to life and put it out in the world. And I have the best of intentions, but inevitably something cool comes along, whether it's a series of covers or whether it's another project to launch or, one of the best distractions I ever had was Strange Academy at Marvel, where one night I text CB, hey, there should be like a magic school at Marvel. We could do like people from all over the place, blah, blah, blah. And, within a couple of weeks that was greenlit. And then within a couple of months we had Umberto on board. And all of a sudden for the next handful of years, Umberto and I and our editors and Siebes and everybody went off and made a really, really fun book. Now, that was amazing, but it also pushed my kind of dream project back, which is fine. You take the good with the bad. But it's very easy for me to get myself in these positions and situations where I look at the week and I'm like, I'm fairly fast at what I do. So I can always find a way to tell myself, yeah, I can do it. No, I'll do it. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Rate's good. Cool. Yeah. And that's not just what other people are offering. It's also what we do here at Stupid Fresh Mess. We do a lot of exclusives and Megan will say, we're only going to do this many because I want you to make sure you do boy. And then I'll be like, that's great. Thank you for protecting my time. And then of course, one of my friends will have a really dope image book come out and I'll be like, okay, but like, let's do that one. And she's always super supportive, and John's super supportive here, and so we always dive in, and inevitably, and then one of my friends will be, Jason Aaron then goes over to DC and he's working on Batman, and I'm like, well, I've never done a DC cover, and one of my best friends is writing it, so I mean, I've got to go do that, right? Of course, let's go do it. And again, we're in that situation where we're stacking up projects. I'm stacking up a schedule that pushes some of my personal things further and further back. Even though those things that I say yes to all end up being great, fun, and they all end up being productive and pushing myself forward, my craft forward, my career forward. It helps all of that. But in the long run, if I pull back and I look at the scope of what I want to accomplish as a storyteller or as an artist, it's important for me to have a better grasp and grip on the art of saying no. And so kind of in a place right now, it's funny because I'm living both sides of this life at the moment. Last week, for example, a really good friend, amazing writer, reached out to me. And this is somebody who's been supportive of me from the beginning of my career when I was just coming up. Super great guy, one of the best writers out there, reached out and works with one of the best artists out there. These are two people I respect beyond understanding. Obviously, I'm not saying names. I'm not putting people on blast. They reached out and asked me to do a cover. And I was so close to saying yes, but I knew, like, I'm working on Boy at the End. I've got this other big writing project that's on the horizon. I've literally got covers, at least 1 or 2 covers on my calendar for per week, deep into 2026 already. So the amount of stuff already on my table outside of what we do here at the company is already crazy. And here I was again, getting ready to say yes, because I love these creators. I love the book. I love the company that's publishing it. Everything was a yes, except I knew I shouldn't if I'm going to stay on course with what I'm trying to accomplish. So I sadly had to give what's kind of become my new answer, which is I'm on a strict quit saying yes to everything, you crazy dummy. Diet. That's what I'm on right now. That's the kind of diet I'm on right now. I've got to learn that, as exciting as it all is and as fun as it is, and as I want to be supportive of all my friends. I know they're always supportive of me when they can be, but every now and then you have to start figuring out, like, prioritize a little bit. And that's always been something that's been difficult for me is to prioritize myself over just being out there and having fun and making comics with everybody that I enjoy. So I had to I have to say no. That's where I'm at right now. I'm on that level, or I'm on that rule right now. And then literally 2 days later, I reached out to another amazing artist, one of everybody's favorite artists, to ask them if they could do a cover for me for I Hate Fairyland number 50. This year we've got I Hate Fairyland number 50 coming out, so I'm really trying to stack up some great cover artists for you guys. And I reached out to him, and he gave me almost a very identical answer to the answer that I have to give to everybody now. And it made me feel great. It did not make me mad. I wasn't frustrated. I felt relief a little bit that I felt, oh, I'm doing the right thing. This artist is doing it as well. And so when I replied back and I said, man, I totally understand it. Thank you so much for getting back to me. I get where you're at. I literally just had to say the same thing to these guys. And then he laughed and came back to me and said, oh, I had to say that to them too. So we were both in the same position where we very much wanted to dive in. We want to dive in on everything that comes our way. But I think to protect our creativity, it's not even about our time. That's not, I think I'm much more trying to protect my bandwidth so I can make the best stuff possible. I don't want this to come down to like, oh, I can't say yes because I need this and they didn't pay me enough and blah, blah, blah. That's not a thing. For me, it's about what energy do I have each day when I sit down at the table, whether to write or whether to make a cover, or right now I'm writing and drawing my own graphic novel, which you guys know I haven't done sequential pages in about 8 years. So it's pretty wacky trying to relearn how to ride a bike. But because of that, because I'm in this new relearning phase and I'm in this new building phase and trying to expand my creativity again, I have to protect the bandwidth a little bit. And so that's what I would encourage everybody to do when it's time, when you get to that place and your schedule and your time is starting to feel so compressed and you feel like there's just not enough of it. Trust yourself enough to know whether or not these should be yeses or nos. And I know it seems like saying no will hurt you and it will take away jobs. I promise you they'll come back. Like, that's the biggest fear. I know when we all started off, we just felt if we say no, we'll never get another offer. That's false. In fact, I genuinely believe that when if a company comes along and says, hey, we'd love you to do this, you saying, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm busy, X, Y, and Z, actually builds a level of respect towards you. You are being honest with them. You're not going to say yes and then blow it later, which we've all done. You're not going to say yes and then do a subpar job because you've taken on too much. They respect that you are protecting the current people that you're working with or for. So in fact, I think taking the bull by the horns or whatever idiom we want to, or cliche or whatever. I don't know what all those are, like allegories or metaphors or idioms. I don't know, whatever. Bull by the horns. I don't even know why I said bull by the horns. I don't say shit like that. If you want to grab that power, I think it actually helps you. I think it helps your career when you show others that you are an utmost professional and you're professional enough to not need to take everything. Again, this is kind of aimed. I don't even say aimed. I'm not sitting here teaching you anything. I'm almost like talking to the other people out there who might feel the same way as me, but aren't feeling like, oh, I haven't gotten there yet, but I feel like I want to. I'm going to tell you, I was there and I feel like I've landed in that place finally that it's okay to say no. I think you'll be happier. I think your work will continue to grow at a quicker pace because you're not feeling the need to rush through. And I'm not just talking about lines and stuff like that, like, laying lines down on paper as an artist or filling out scripts. I'm talking about like the ideas. Like, when you have enough time to be bored, then you are going to be a strong creator. And I'll go into my whole concept of, you want to create stuff, then go get bored. That whole concept I'll do in another video. Yeah. Anyway, today I just wanted to kind of vent. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about when I sat down. I was like, oh, let's talk about saying no. And then if you guys saw my desk, it's insanely messy. I have no notes here. This is all just me riffing, which is, you guys know me for a long time. This is pretty much all I do, is just ramble off the top of my head. So hopefully some of this made sense. Hopefully it helps a few of you. If you think that I'm full of it, that's all good too. The art of saying no is not something I've completely mastered. I still need to be reminded at times to say no. Sometimes I say yes, and then I instantly have to go back and be like, I really shouldn't have said yes. I'm so sorry I had to say no. But hopefully this helps and you guys can take it and go make some amazing stuff with it. All right. I'll see you guys next time.